Welcome to Idiots with Instruments, the show that follows the band Red Hot Rebellion as we write and record our brand new album from start to finish. I am Jim Tramontana, bassist and vocalist of Red Hot Rebellion.
I'm Doug Spencer, guitar player and backing vocals.
I am Andris Divine, drummer and awkward banterer.
Very good. So it's nice to see you fellas. How y'all doing?
It's good to be back, Jimmy.
Yeah.
It's good to be here.
It's been a couple, I think 2 weeks since we've played together.
Is that a fortnight?
I don't know. I don't speak Old English.
That's also a video game.
But I sure do drink Old English.
Oh, that's right.
Hey, ring the bell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Order up. So this would be episode 2, I think. Yes, episode 2, because we did episode 0, then episode 1.
Right. We're
Okay.
We're starting with 0, like like scientists.
Yes, exactly.
Yep.
Or computer
Smart people.
geeks.
Right.
We're not scientists. We're not scientists.
The
at
nerds
all.
we are.
Yep.
So we made a little bit of progress on one song last time, which I thought sounded pretty good.
Yeah.
It sounded damn
real good.
Yeah.
I don't know if we'll get to play it tonight, but we could probably try to muddle our way through it. But,
maybe.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
That's pretty good.
Anybody got any fun things going on this weekend? Like, Doug, I noticed there's a brand new amplifier in here.
Yeah.
What do you got there, funny pants?
That is the new Crate Power Block 200.
I don't read so good, but that doesn't look like it says that.
That is a Metropoulos Amplification Metroplex 100 watt head amplifier.
Metroplex.
Metroplex is the name of the actual model, and it's made by Metropoulos Amplification out of Michigan.
Nice.
So our neighbors to the north.
Yeah.
It's made by a very nice Greek gentleman by the name of George Metropoulos.
That's a badass name, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I wish my name was cool.
Dougie Metropolis.
Your name is cool.
My name is Doug.
Well, you look cool, and you are cool.
Well,
So
that's debatable sometimes. But yeah, that's my new thing.
So it's a tube amp ob. It's a custom boutique.
I mean,
job.
if you want to delve into it,
break it down for me.
yeah. So this amp is well, let me back up. George, if you go to their website, metroamp.com or Metropoulos Amplification, if you Google it, it's going to pop up. And basically, there's a big spiel about this amp, and it was something that he worked on for a few years to get it right before he wanted to release it. And essentially what it is it's a 68 Marshall Plexi amplifier, 100-watt amp that like Eddie Van Halen and a bunch of other dudes like that, and I mean that's like the Grail tone pretty much. And what George has done before he got to this point was he was reverse engineering old Marshalls, and that's how he started in business, was by virtually going through, because he's got a 68, he's got a 45-100 JTM, he's got a 40, from the 60s,
right?
That sound great, those are the Grail tones, and he went back and reverse engineered those amps, and that's how he started his business, was by making clones, essentially.
Nice.
That's cool.
But this amp is it's touted as vintage tone with modern features, which is exactly what it is. So with this amp,
meaning it sounds great at any volume, you don't have to overdrive
the master volume on it is unique to it, and it was something that, like, if you're in guitar nerd land, master volume, either you love it or you hate it, and a lot of guys use attenuators and shit like that, and I've been through I don't know how much time and money and stuff. But and old amps, and I've had old amps, and I still got one old amp left, but I liquidated some because this thing sounds as good or better than those, and has more features and can do more shit. So what I'm using it for is just scratching the surface. I'm not even using it in 68 mode. So basically, through the years, and I mean, we could do a whole episode on Marshall.
Yeah. And we could do a whole episode of you just describing all the amps you've had just in this band.
That's
because
true.
for a while it was one new one every week.
Yeah. Well, and guitars too. I mean, I've gone
true.
through some guitars. So
Yeah.
I like the current model.
Yeah, the current lineup is pretty good for guitars. But yeah, so in a nutshell, this amp can go through tones that are reminiscent of like a 66 JTM 45 50 watter. It has a switchable selector in the back that you can knock it down to 50 watts, which cuts out 2 tubes, which changes the dynamics of the amp.
Nice.
The feel, all that. And it also has on the front, it has a variac switch, which lowers the voltage of the actual transformers in the amp, the power going to the tubes. So that actually changes the feel and the tone as well also. Because part of the lore of Eddie Van Halen was that he was using a variac to bring the volume down, thusly by lowering the voltage in the amp. So less volts, less volume.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that was part of the secret sauce to that. So this amp has it, and it's on a switch. So when you hit it, it knocks it down, and you can hear it and you can feel it. And
you can fear it. You said
you can fear it. Yeah,
And
so
you
that's
can
like
feel
fear and hear all together.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
Fear and feel.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear.
Yeah.
Fear.
I didn't mean to say that, but
But it sounds badass.
yeah, it sounds pretty cool. So yeah, right now I'm using it on the. There's a high and low input. And if you go into the high input, it's kind of a 66 era Marshall 100 watt, and I've got it in the full voltage. So right now, I think it's around 475, 490 ish maybe. On the plates of the tubes. I was doing biasing today, and I was biasing it up right around 470 volts in there. So that's what my tubes are seeing right now, without the variac in 100 watt mode. But basically, it sounds like
Awesome.
It sounds really awesome, and I'm not using it. I mean, I've got the way George put it together, and if you watch any of his YouTube videos, he goes way in depth and goes through everything. But
So shout out to George. Good work.
yeah. So yeah. Like I'd love to make some clips and hopefully help him sell some of these fuckers.
Yeah.
But
Why don't you play a little for us,
yeah.
Dougie?
So the 66 is it's gonna be this is a little loud.
Yeah,
but
whatever. Nice.
Yeah. So it sounds like a 1966.
Yeah. Sounds
And,
pretty fucking badass.
That's with everything set at 5. So what he did was he like if you've ever played vintage Marshalls or non-master volume Marshalls, the tone controls don't do a whole hell of a lot unless you fucking crank them.
Right,
So
yeah,
they're almost like passive control. So you're not really taken away or anything like that. You have to add everything to get what you need. But with this, he designed it so the controls are super active, and when you turn knobs, you actually hear shit changing.
Right.
Like the character, the feel, the dynamics. And the 68 is the heart of this amp. This is what he says, and he designed it so if you have all of the knobbies at 5 straight up, that's his 1968 100 watt going through a 1968 basket weave cab. That's the tone. Yeah, so we're going through Jimmy's 412 with British greenbacks in it.
Y'all.
Which that's all I have too is cabs filled with greenbacks, and that's the tone, man.
And it sounds tits out awesome.
Yeah, and the cool thing too is the volume in it. The master volume. There's a master volume on it that you can dial down. And I was rocking this thing the other night when everybody's fucking chilling in bed and was having a good old time. I wasted at least 2 hours.
Nice.
Just
That's great.
fucking around.
And you found the tone to be
yeah.
pleasing to the ear without
Oh
having to
yeah,
crank
it's
it up.
nice. And like I said, I'm not even scratching the surface on it as far as all the shit it can do. And yeah, I mean, I think essentially like the tone I've always been going for is kind of the raw Marshall tone, but not a whole lot of gain, but just enough on top to.
Yeah, because you like to hear every note.
Yeah, I like hearing notes. I like hearing strings.
Not mush.
I mean, I really like hearing myself just all natural. You know, I don't like
I
to
know
be.
you like to play on that.
I don't like to be concealed. I like to be fully out.
So this would be a lovely
Yes.
amp for both recording and live scenarios.
Oh yeah,
if you will.
Yeah, I think. I mean, I've got my 78 50 watt JMP left, and you know, it's going to go head to head with this because I'm like, well, do I really need? Because I mean, this is doing better tones. I don't need an attenuator. I don't need any other shit.
Yeah.
I can get rid of all the fucking pedals on the floor,
Right.
Except the wah.
except the wah.
Yeah.
And I don't
and
have
the
a lot
tuner.
of stuff on the floor anyway. I've got a treble booster and a tube screamer, which
Yeah.
and a tuner, but
Yeah.
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 So the tuner and the wah you'd keep, eh?
So,
Yeah.
do you think this is potentially it for you?
Yeah.
You think
Really?
this is
Oh yeah.
this is your girl?
Wow.
I mean, there's.
I don't
there's-
think we've ever heard him
Folks,
say that.
this is a big deal.
This is a
Yeah.
very big deal.
Like,
Yeah, and I mean, I've owned amps that were Grail tone amps too. You know, I sold my 74 Super Lead I had to partially fund this,
Right.
and I sold my 73. I sold my 73 because my 74 sounded just as good, and I could get more money out of the 73, so I kept the 74.
Right.
You know, and I had I think a 71 at one point, and I've had a bunch of other shit too.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh, yeah.
JCM 800s, vintage era stuff and whatnot. Even some other cool amps as well, but I'm not going to plug them right now.
Yeah,
So because I already
So
got rid of them.
what this beauty set you back then?
This I got used. So new, I think these guys are going for like 35 hundo.
Damn.
Used, I picked this guy up for 24 hundo.
Okay.
okay.
Yeah.
See, that ain't.
No, that's
That ain't
cool.
bad.
Yeah. Considering I sold my 74
Yeah.
and made up a good chunk of, what I had to, throw down on this.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm kind of like, well, maybe I'll sell the 78 and that'll make up the, the rest, and then I'll have a little pocket change to,
Yeah.
Yeah.
get I don't know, get my asshole pierced or something.
Is it already bleached? Is that why you just need it pierced?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
got to make it look nice for the
Right.
holidays.
I've got one of the little jewel
Butt
things
jazzle?
right
Yeah.
on the
Yeah,
bottom
yeah.
left cheek.
The little
The
butt plug,
vajazzle.
the little
Butt dazzle. Butt dazzle.
dazzle.
It's
Sorry.
it's different than the vajazzle. It's
You're talking amps.
but-
so these are
Butt
these are
dazzle.
all handmade by George Metropoulos.
Yeah,
himself, or-
and again, if you go and look at the website and his YouTube channel, he's actually got him wiring up one of these amps, and it's like in 6 minutes. The video is 6 minutes, but the way it's wired up is, of course, it's in fast. What's the opposite?
time
of-
lapse.
Right.
Time
Yeah,
lapse.
time
Time
lapse.
lapse. I was going to say fast motion. What's the opposite
Right.
of slow motion?
Yeah.
fast motion.
Fast motion.
It's a technical term.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool.
And that's cool. Yeah, so it's all hand wired, and it's put together really smart. When you look inside, it's really a work of art. I mean,
nice.
it's just amazing. I mean, and it really
yeah.
and it looks like microchips and shit like that. But I mean, the only thing that's in this amp that is like a diode or anything like that, like a pedal like thing. There's a built-in boost to this amp, and I was kind of messing with it tonight. But you can literally, it's like having a built-in just clean boost in the front end of the amp.
Yeah.
Like that one bit where I hit it and it was like super loud,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I didn't have the gain on at all. You just turn the volume up apparently, and then you can hit the boost on this.
Huh.
So you're not adding any gain, but you're adding that volume,
Right. Volume.
and it's
Yeah.
like it's just so cool. Like
Yeah.
that's
Oh,
what
yeah.
I've been wanting for years. Because like when you throw a pedal in front of a non-master volume Marshall, unless the Marshall is like turned down to where it's not clipping, you're not getting any more volume. You're just hitting the front end a little bit harder. You get more gain, but you don't get
Right,
any
yeah.
volume.
Yeah,
And not like in a 3-piece band like this, I need volume, but I like to feel it. So
You need to push that air.
yeah, like I mean,
We all
usually
like to feel it.
Yeah.
right,
Especially like live, man.
Yeah.
It's,
right.
It's all
when
about
when I step out
faces.
front and I can't hear my amp, and I'm like, okay, I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know?
even like tonight, like when you did that solo and it was way louder than everything else, I kind of want that at like every fucking solo. Like I always
Okay.
want that.
Well, I mean,
It's
we
fucking
can-
awesome.
Yeah, I just don't want it. I mean, obviously trying to tweak knobs and figure it out. Since this
Yeah,
is
you're
the
just scratching the surface with this.
yeah, I mean, I got to figure out like volume levels and stuff like that because I would like to bump it up a little bit,
Right.
but I don't want it to be overbearing. You know.
I
Right.
do.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm just thinking like in a live scenario,
Right.
When if
There
they
is-
mic the cab or
Right.
something like that,
They're gonna ask you to turn down immediately.
yeah, they're gonna be like, "What the fucking?
Yeah.
We're hitting the fader right now."
They're gonna take you out
Yeah.
of the PA.
And then when I turn it off, I'll be gone out of the mix. So.
Right.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So I want to at least figure that out. But yeah, it's totally rad. I would I would recommend selling kidneys or kids or something to
If
get
you have the
one.
means, I recommend.
Yeah.
Whatever excess things you have lying
Yeah,
around.
exactly.
Kidneys or kids.
Kidneys.
Kidneys
Yeah.
or kids. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, that's going to
Well,
be the
it
title
sounds
of my
beautiful. I'm glad to bring her into the old fold here. She's a new member of the club, I guess. Hopefully, you're
Yeah.
forever girl.
forever. Yeah, I don't see why
looks real
not.
pretty too.
Yeah, it's cool. It's
it's good
it's the
looking.
plexi face
shouldn't-
plates and stuff,
Yeah.
and
I shouldn't say pretty. That's a poor choice. Of
no, that's
but
a great
it's
choice.
a
I don't know.
beauty.
It's very
Yeah.
it's attractive
Yeah.
No, I mean I like.
in a non-sexual way.
No, I think gears is beautiful to look at or pretty
Yeah.
or whatever. I mean,
That's why I always do like sparkly shit.
yeah, I mean I can admire drum sets or
Yeah.
I like the marine pearl. I like that.
yeah. I mean I think cymbals are cool. Like this guy looks fucking rad.
Yeah, the sandblasted.
Yeah, just all
Yeah.
yeah. Like I remember when
raw.
the Rude shits first came out.
yeah.
Like I was like, those are fucking badass looking, man.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, they're all
I used
gnarly.
to play exclusively Rude.
Really?
Yeah, I
Well,
did.
why
I played-
don't you do that?
I've gone through a lot of different cymbals.
Are your cymbals like my amps?
Well, he
Kind of.
breaks them.
Yeah,
left
yeah.
and
Well,
right.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
I found
right.
I like the ones that I've got now for the most part. I'm not super excited about the smaller crash that I use, but I actually like the 18-inch. None of these cymbals are the cymbals that I use
yeah.
typically. These are all just kind of filler.
Right,
But the
yeah,
ones
these
with
are the
the
practice
holes,
Yeah.
the
Right.
Oh,
Sabian
yeah.
HHX Evolution.
Right.
I like those.
Yeah, that's a cut your head off. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice.
it's got a nice
It's like
tone.
between like trashy China and like an actual crash.
Right.
So it's got a little bit of that like I don't know, that cut to it, but I think it still sounds real smooth.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know.
See, we sound like we know we're talking about this one,
Yep.
We know what we like,
Yeah, we
Yeah.
know. Yeah, we know what we like.
but that's
Yeah.
and we have really nice equipment.
yeah. We've been
Yeah.
told that. Yeah.
Yeah.
We've-
We've been told.
really
Yeah.
nice equipment.
Yeah.
We've all worked super shitty jobs for a super long time to get equipment that we like.
Yeah, that's true.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah.
true.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, I'm glad you got a girl that you like there, Dougie. She
Yeah,
sounds
me
beautiful.
Too. Yeah, it's great.
I hopefully she'll be around when we record. But if
Oh,
not,
yeah.
something
God.
else. Something else just as
No.
good will be here.
That's what I'm saying, man. That's
Yeah.
it. I
You
mean,
think
I
it's-
can get
she's a
66 out of it. I can get.
Yeah.
I mean, dude, if I plug into the low input and do the
Yeah.
66, it's like so cool.
Yeah.
I mean, and when you do the variac on it too, man, it's like a big. I mean, we could do a whole show on
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
settings on this
Yeah.
thing.
Well,
So-
I mean, one of the things you wanted to talk about today was like pre-production kind of stuff like this, like
Right.
dialing in your tone way before you get to the studio.
Oh
right?
yeah, definitely.
So, I mean,
So let's talk pre-production.
So, like,
Is this
okay.
our segue?
yeah, so that was a good segue, wasn't
That was a
it?
good
job.
segue. Hey,
Oh,
Pro shit here, people.
pro shit.
no order up.
Yeah, I think pre-production is important, especially, not only because of time and money and shit like that, but just
Which
for
are
your.
very important.
I mean, those
Right,
are very
yeah.
important. Those are very important. Don't get me wrong, but I think something else that you can't put a price on is your fucking sanity.
Right.
And what I mean by that is when you get into the studio and then you're fucking with your shit and you're like, it don't sound right, man. And then it just drives you nuts. And then it's like, do I want to, I think for me, that affects my performance. If I'm not getting the sound that I want, these guys can attest. How many takes for a solo? You know what I'm saying?
I've been in sessions where Doug has done literally 100 or more takes.
Yeah, and it's
I usually just don't show up to those.
And I'm there to help.
I'll call in and I'll be like, Doug, you doing great. Yeah. Be like, Jimmy, is he doing great?
No, he's all fucked up, man. I don't know what to do for him. God damn
He's all
it.
mental now. But that's the thing. If you have good stuff and you like the way it sounds. It don't even have to be good stuff. You could have the Crate Power Block 200,
absolutely,
and really like that. And if you like that tone, then use that tone. Don't try to
you don't
change
need to
shit
spend
up.
a lot of money on this shit just because Doug does.
No,
or
absolutely.
we do.
And that's the thing is that I know I've had instances where I had a tone just because I had a pretty shitty rig, and then when I get to the studio and they have really nice shit, and they're like, "Hey, you want to plug into this?" I fucked around for hours, trying to figure out, well, how do I make this thing sound good?
Right.
And then it was so different and how it sounded from what I was used to that it affected my performance. It sounded way better than the shit I had, and I was like, oh fuck, you can hear all the notes that I'm fucking up, and you know what I mean?
I've been slopping all this shit. I can hear it all now.
Yeah, I can hear it all now. So it was really eye opening in that respect, and
because that's a lot of studios do have a lot of gear that you can play through, walls of amps and shit. And if it's stuff you're not used to, you can spend a lot of time, which equates money.
Yeah,
that, I think what I'm guessing is most of our audience is kind of like us, independent musicians, not with a $4 million budget, and we're just kind of doing it ourselves.
Single white males between the age of 25 and 55.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Yeah.
So you can definitely waste so much money. Just in the studio, and I think that's what you're getting at is figure shit out beforehand.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, figure everything out.
Figure out your parts.
Yeah.
And that's when we brought in the dry erase board. The old dry erase board made her appearance again today.
We had to rearrange some stuff.
And before we get any deeper, fucking tune your shit.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking tune. Drums, guitars, bass, all that shit needs to be fucking in tune.
Yeah, it's good to change your heads, like your drum heads, before you go into the studio.
Right. But not your bass strings. You should keep. They should be a little.
There's certain
unless that's the sound you're going for. But for for us, and
that's true.
You can be a little bass strings. You don't want going with brand ass new bass strings because they're going to sound a little different.
Yeah.
Yet guitar is a whole other thing.
Yeah, I like having fresh strings.
Yeah.
I usually I'll preface that with the saying that I'll try to at least play one practice or two with those new strings just so they're stretched out real good and they're not going to just be a fucking problem the whole time.
But you get in there with and the engineer's like, you drums up, tune your drum instead of getting levels, you're fucking around.
Right. Yeah, you're fucking around with shit.
And if your neck's all out of whack or whatever on your axe,
make sure your shit works and is in tune. There you go.
Look at us bestowing wisdom.
Yeah. Well, that's shit I wish people would have told me back in the day, Right. And then all the, God bless the little punk kids and stuff like that, that don't buy tuners.
Right.
And we're going to tune with.
We're just going to go for it.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, we're tuned.
Yeah. Well, in the olden days, in the olden days, couldn't afford a tuner.
Right.
But nowadays, you could buy a really good $20 tuner.
Right. Well, and also in the olden days, it probably didn't matter.
And it's
right.
Yeah.
Right.
Quality was different.
You can't really auto-tune a guitar. You can, but it's fucking weird.
Yeah, in this day and age, we're really living in the age of luxury as far as gear goes. The clip-on tuner that you have on your bass, that was like a $14.99 purchase.
Oh, yeah. Why not?
Yeah. Instead of buying that quarter bag of weed, go buy you a tuner.
Yeah. And know your parts.
Yeah. Something that's really good to do is practice to a metronome before you go in. Yep. Figure out the BPM and where you're fucking up. That's something that I have consistently not done before going into the studio.
Right.
But I I always mean
because,
to.
like in a modern studio, like a Pro Tools studio, like when you open a session, the engineer is going to ask you what's the BPM, because that shit can matter later on when he or she is editing that shit.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like knowing
it's good to know,
and it's
right off
just
the
good to
back
know
and,
for
Yeah.
playing as well.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
and back, and again, using all those resources to your advantage. You know?
Right.
Not be like, that's I don't play the click or metronome or any of that stuff.
Yeah.
I am the click. Fuck the click. I am the click.
Right. Exactly.
I mean, if that's your bag, great.
yeah, exactly.
But-
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I get that to some degree. To me, I feel like it takes tremendous weight off of my shoulders because I feel like I
Right.
am going to fuck everything up all the time, and I really don't want to.
Right.
So I like using the metronome. And,
We'll like dial in the BPM
right.
before we go in and start practicing at that and practicing at that. I mean, that'll come later. We're far away from that right now. But back to like what you were saying, like knowing your parts and shit. Like I've been in the studio with one of my bands where the singer didn't have fucking lyrics to the songs. We recorded all the shit, and now it's time for him to sing. And he's like, "Hold on, I'm still working on the lyrics."
Wow.
And like wrote lyrics in the studio while we're paying this out of our pockets.
Yeah.
So you're trying to figure out. He's trying to figure out like how these lyrics are going to work and
Right.
shit. On the
Yeah.
Wow.
On the fly, writing them down.
You're fired.
Yeah.
I'd,
Well, that band didn't stick around too long, you know.
I was in a band briefly where the singer did that in the studio, and then also didn't want to give me credit for writing my drum parts. What? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, it was a weird situation.
Yeah. Well, there's another lesson to be learned. Like when you're in a band, like have it just figured out, like who is controlling the writing and stuff.
Right.
Like we have a straight 3-way split on everything, no matter who does what. Right. That's still our deal, right?
We all, yeah, right.
Because that's been the deal.
We all take care of our own
Right.
shit. I mean, it's based off of something.
Right,
Like
yeah.
either-
But like I write all the lyrics, but still I'm splitting all that shit 3 ways because
I feel like at this point, every one of us has inspired
Word.
some sort of song
Yeah.
by
Right,
something we're
and-
doing.
and,
Like,
and written words
Right.
and shit
Yeah.
too.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So
Most of the time I'll be like, here's the words, and Andris will be like, yeah, that word sucks.
yeah, and it's usually the word sucks.
Yeah.
I'm just
sucks.
pointing out that I know what words are.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll
I'm like, I know what that means.
once lyrics appear into these new songs, I'm sure we'll do all kinds of talking about that shit.
Yep.
Yeah.
But
So-
we're not there yet.
Yep. Know your parts.
Know your parts.
Okay.
Be cool.
Be cool.
Yeah, know what shit's going down. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, we don't need to get in all kinds of business, but that's like, don't fuck around in the studio.
Yeah, business.
Unless you got endless money, man.
Right.
Like, we usually book like a day or whatever, or you're playing by the hour.
Right.
Yeah.
We try
And
to get as
exactly.
much
that shit
done
gets.
as we can.
You got enough pressure playing the shit right because
Right.
once that shit gets under a microscope, as Dougie likes to call it,
Yeah.
it's gonna sound different,
It is.
Absolutely.
Totally. Yeah,
and
so,
you're gonna not be happy a lot of the time.
yeah, so no doing booger sugar or
Yeah.
anything else.
Yeah, try to be sober.
Yeah, be sober.
Unless
Yeah.
you can't play otherwise, but
And if you can't play when you're sober,
then maybe you got a problem.
Maybe do something else.
I mean,
yeah.
I will like have like a beer or two to like when I'm singing to get loose, but
Right.
that's not every time
Right.
like I'm in the studio because that can fuck your voice up too. And not that I'm saying I'm
That's
the
right,
best singer
kids.
in the
Yeah.
world, but
it is.
warm drinks are better than cold drinks, and carbonated drinks are
Yeah.
fucked up for singing.
Yeah, so drink warm, flat beer if you need.
Yeah.
Some Uncle Dougie's wrinkle sack
Yeah.
throat gel.
Yep.
Yep. I swear by it.
Yeah, or just do like maybe one shot or something.
Yeah, that
like,
that can help.
just
you out.
some
Yeah, because
small.
it's you can get it's nerve wracking, especially the singing. Like if you're not used to it,
Yeah.
you know. I mean, I guess
Yeah, I mean, smoking cigarettes. I mean, Lemmy did it.
Yeah,
I mean,
no,
but
Lemmy-
he's superhuman though.
yeah,
superhuman.
super fucking human.
So I mean,
God rest his soul.
Yeah.
people like that.
But yeah, the average bear, not
Yep,
so bueno.
Exactly. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's definitely a mentally, emotional, probably spiritual, and definitely financial thing all the way
Endeavor.
around.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, because if you're not rested the night before. I mean, we try to, do it on a day where none of us have worked all fucking day.
Yeah.
And trying to go in and do shit.
Yeah, and I guess how we do it is more kind of traditional versus like the guy doing it all in his bedroom by himself.
Right.
So we're kind of talking about a more traditional studio experience, like where you're actually picking up, setting up shop in a studio that you're renting for the day or whatever, and rocking it out.
Yeah. I think all these things could be applied definitely to the bedroom guy too. I mean,
True.
You want your shit to be spot on,
right?
You don't
before
wanna,
you
put it under the microscope.
Well, right, because it's really a lot easier to fix things in pre-production, than in production itself, or even post-production.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're trying to quantize and all that bullshit,
and everyone should be familiar with everybody else's parts as well, so there's no surprises. If you get in there and you're like, wait, you're playing a G and I'm playing a G flat.
I think we've done that before.
Yes.
Yeah.
Learn from our mistakes.
We have made all of these mistakes.
Yeah, we're not every goddamn one of them.
So that's why we're experts on the subject, I guess,
right,
or whatever.
I mean,
we've honed it over time.
We've never claimed to be experts of anything.
No, we're literally idiots with instruments.
Yeah, absolutely. Even the name of the show.
Yeah.
Hello.
Very
Water up.
Hey, good one, guys.
Yeah, good one.
Yep.
But shit. I think so we've written shit in the studio to fix it. At least I have.
We have.
And you've tried different drum stuff because it's going to happen anyway. But just be as prepared as you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Like even when we record stuff here, or like when we were at the Murder Bunker, like doing demos, you can kind of hear what you're doing and hear how it fits. But when you get in the studio, like there have been a couple times where I've heard something that I'm doing and I'm like, oh. Like, that doesn't fit there because this isn't quite how I thought it was.
Right.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
So, change shit up quick.
Yep.
And
Yep.
redo it.
Very good.
But, so I guess try to take better demo recordings and then listen to
if you
those
have
and
the
then
means,
know your parts.
You can fucking record a demo on your iPhone,
Oh, yeah.
Or
Yeah,
get, like what's that little Zoom guy? We got a little...
We got a little Zoom field recorder.
Those things are great.
But I picked that dude up used. I mean, it was $40-$50.
Yeah.
I mean,
Stereo.
Stereo.
Auto gains.
Yeah, gains, XY. Runs on one fucking double A that lasts like forever.
Nice.
It's got a USB out. You can load it onto any computer or whatever else you got, and it's nice. Yeah, I mean, it's good for bootlegging too.
Yeah.
He takes it to all the concerts.
Yeah,
take it everywhere.
You know, anybody needs some Justin Timberlake bootleg recordings?
Yeah,
I got that.
That's not a bad idea.
No, I know, right?
Yeah, do they even care about that anymore?
Well, that's the thing. You see fuckers like holding up their phones. I'm like, fuck that. Record the shit. Like
Danzig
good
cares.
audio.
Glenn Danzig cares.
Well,
but
Danzig. But I'm pretty sure at this point we could kick the shit out of Danzig.
Right? Yeah, he's just kind of like a sad old guy. No.
You hear that, Glenn? We're coming for you.
Yeah.
No, we don't want. We love you, Glenn.
Yeah, we do.
We love
Glenn.
you.
That's right.
So so that's been good. Good talk there, fellas. I'd like to move into a little segment I like to call Get to Know Ya. Get to know you. So here's the deal. I have 11 questions.
Ooh.
Oh, Jesus.
We're going to, we're not answering all of them. I'm going to ask Siri to randomly generate a number between 1 and 11.
Okay.
And then I'm going to read the question, and then we're all going to answer it.
Oh, okay.
All right,
this sounds fun.
Yeah.
We'll see. It may be horrible.
Well.
I don't know. Let's see if this bitch will even talk to me. Siri, generate a random number between 1 and 11. And she's thinking about it. Did you hear that? It's 7.
Yeah.
That's
7.
what she
I
said.
heard that.
Lucky 7. Cool.
All right. Question number 7. Oh, this one's not all that great. What was your first concert? Doug, what was the first concert? No, we're asking the guy with the bulletproof memory.
Yeah, the worst memory.
The first one you can remember attending.
There was a place here in town. It was called the Bus Stop, and it has now been converted into the fucking Salvation Army clothing store.
Oh wow!
But I think before that, it might have been like a skate rink or some other shit. But it's here in Centerville.
Like a roller rink?
Yeah, like a roller rink. So it's here in
nice.
Centerville. It's still like the same fucking building. Like you walk the one over there by across from Southview Hospital. And like Qdoba and all that shit's out front. Yeah, the place in back that Salvation Army was the bus stop.
Oh, cool.
I remember going there. I begged to go there because they were having bands, and I can't remember how old I was, but I remember it because fucking Yngwie Malmsteen was playing there.
Badass.
Like when he first came to America, and it might have been. I don't think it was Alcatraz. When he played with them briefly. I don't think it was them. I think it was just Yngwie.
Was it a solo? Yeah, I saw him.
But it was so that would have been like before Marching Out, before all of that shit.
Wow, before Rising Force.
Force, before all of it, man.
Trilogy,
and
wow.
I remember like I was in the place, and it was so cool because everybody there was like way older than me, but you could get in and they didn't serve booze or nothing like that, but they had bands, and it was like it was probably a shithole, but to me it was like the coolest thing I'd ever been
so
a part of.
they have like a real elevated stage.
So there's an elevated
sound
stage,
gear,
sound gear,
lights,
fucking dark, and it was the 80s, so it was awesome.
Everyone was smoking in there.
Yeah, and I probably, I had my jean jacket on and my fucking, my Metallica t-shirt or some shit. I don't know, but Yngwie Malmsteen, it was fucking. I thought I'm just going to quit playing guitar. Because
that's wild.
It was fucking just ridiculous. How good he was. I mean, and he was probably. I think when he first came to America, he was like 20 something.
Was he
barely
doing that shit where he's like flicking the picks?
It was just, it was crazy, dude. It was kind of hazy because I was probably doing some other things before I came inside. But I just remember there was one part where he was like up on the edge of the stage, and he just had his guitar, and he was like making that Yngwie face, and just it was just so precise and so fucking loud, and just I was like. Man, I'm never going to be that good.
I quit.
And you are today, though, right?
No, I'm no.
Give us a little Yngwie. Do your best to give us some Yngwie. Yeah.
I'm not properly warmed up.
All right.
I do know, like, one little thing.
All right.
Yeah.
Very good. Hey.
Yeah, hey. Yeah, hey.
You hired.
Nice.
I could probably do 100 more takes. And
Yeah.
And then feel happy.
I'll be happy with it. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, but did you hear that tone?
That's
Yeah. It was
listen to the
good.
tone. Don't listen to the playing. Listen
Yeah,
to the
listen.
that was the neck pickup, by the way.
Wow. So Yngwie Malmsteen.
I don't know who else was there, but I also remember.
Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I also remember back in the day too, going to Hera and seeing just everybody there. I saw Nirvana there.
Wow.
Nice. Wow.
Fuck.
That's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, Clutch used to play at the Palace Club in Beaver
Yeah.
Creek, like a little shithole. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
Clutch and
So,
crazy. Sorry.
No,
pretty rad.
That's why the segment's called Get to Know Ya.
Yeah.
Okay. So there you go.
So, A-Dog, what do you say? How about you? What was your first concert there?
So, it was when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
It was in Milwaukee at the Bradley Center, I think it was called. It's like a big kind of like U.S. Bank Arena type thing or whatever.
Arena.
Whatever. Every town, every city has one.
Yeah.
But it was Green Day, and it was on the Dookie tour. And
Nice.
So it was. Yeah, I was a little kid, and I was really excited. And
That's fucking cool.
yeah, and then I actually got to meet them like a few years later, and I told them about it, and they were like, "Oh, cool,
Nice.
that's really nice, sweet."
So Dookie. So that So Trey Cool. That was when he was.
Yeah,
It
he was
it
already.
before. Okay,
yeah, he was in there.
Yeah, I hung out outside of a Green Day show at Club Nowhere in Orlando.
Oh,
The Kerplunk tour.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, and didn't go in because I guess I was too cool or we had something else to do.
Wow.
But, yeah, so I've never seen Green Day, but
you've never seen them?
Never seen Green Day. Yeah.
I've seen them a whole bunch of times.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah. They were probably one of the bands that I've seen the most, other than like Real Big Fish. I've seen a lot of times, and Guar.
Oh, yeah. And Guar,
seen a lot of times.
Right.
Fuck yeah. Man.
That's
Well, that's
cool.
pretty. So
Yeah, I don't even remember who they were playing with, like who direct
Now,
support
were
was
they
or
headlining,
anything.
or were they?
Yeah,
okay.
oh, they were headlining.
That was so. That
Which-
was
so
after
that was
everything.
yeah,
that
it
was
was-
after, like,
it was like-
Longview and shit,
Yeah,
bro.
because when you said that
Right.
Arena and
Well,
Green Day, well, that album was like,
Yeah.
oh, that must have been after
That's
that.
after.
Right. So
MTV.
I think it was either 94 or 95. So it was like
Nice.
either that year or the year after.
Wow, nice.
That was
but-
awesome.
Yeah.
That's pretty
I was trying to
badass.
remember what grade I was in, and it was early. It was early on. Yeah, I know.
For those of you playing at home, Andris is much younger than Doug and I.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was in college.
I'm still kind of an old weirdo.
Yeah,
though,
you're an
like
old soul.
by
You were 94.
yeah,
yeah.
That's cool.
yeah.
Yeah, I had a. That was the year Dylan was born. My oldest kid.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I was 8.
You were
Right.
8.
Yeah.
Wow.
I
So-
had impregnated a vagina.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah. It must have been.
You probably weren't even interested in vagina at that point.
I like to think I've always been interested.
Like once
Good
you
man.
come out, you're always trying to.
Like,
Yeah.
hey.
Absolutely.
How about that?
Why did I ever leave?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's
No,
fucking
but
cool.
yeah, and then after that, we went to tons of shows
Right.
like all the time, and it was something that my whole family was at. Like we all went together.
Oh, that's cool.
Cool.
So the fam was there for Green Day?
Yeah,
Rocking out.
And
Nice.
then
That's awesome.
that's how we did almost all of the shows that we went to.
That's
Hell
cool.
yeah.
So
You-
yeah,
That was
including
back when-
War.
yeah.
Has your mom
I've
been to a Gore show?
no. I don't think my mom ever has, but my dad went with me. We went to see them in Chicago at the House of Blues.
Nice.
And yeah, and
Oh,
like
wow.
he
Did
was
get dosed?
Well, yeah. So I was standing right up front, and he like went to go sit down somewhere, and I guess like one of the security guards was like, "Oh, you can't sit here. Like you have to pay extra." And he was like, "Oh, weird. Okay." So he just like came up front and hung out with me the whole night. Like so.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I thought that was
Covered
pretty
in
fun.
blood and
Yeah.
fake,
Hell
fake
yeah.
blood and fake semen.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
absolutely.
Nice.
It was a really good experience.
Family-
We ate at the
family fun.
Rainforest Cafe
Right.
Wow.
beforehand. Yeah,
Huh.
because afterwards
Cool.
they would have looked at us very differently.
Yes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And
Yeah.
they would have been closed too, I think.
Yeah,
But-
probably. Wow.
Yeah.
What a
Man.
great story.
I was just thinking, yeah, probably when you saw Green Day and you were doing the family because I was like, I was looking at tickets to like take the kids and go do a family thing like that. I was
Right.
Yeah.
like, Jesus Christ, dude, fucking tickets.
Oh yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like
Nowadays.
good seats.
Good
like I was
seats.
looking
Right.
at- I was thinking I want to take the kids to go see Slayer.
Yeah.
Oh
'Cause
yeah.
this is
their
this is the
farewell
farewell
tour.
yeah, the farewell
Yeah.
tour. And I was looking at tickets, dude, and like to get like shit that's, I mean, probably decent-ish seats, but I mean, to experience a Slayer concert, I
Yeah.
mean, I want to be like in the pit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
like
sure
in
the
it.
kids would be freaked out, but how you gonna learn?
Right. Yeah. Absolutely.
But I mean,
You gotta
and-
get in there and swim.
yeah, but the mediocre seats for like, I mean, it was like $150 to like $200.
Oh, Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah, and that was like not even like, like stage, pit, that row. Then it was like this row, and then it was like some weird like random like off to the
corner.
corner. And I was
Huh.
like, fucking.
Yeah.
I started
Well,
doing the math. I'm like,
they're
Yeah.
retiring, so they're trying to bank on
I
it.
guess.
I guess.
That's-
I mean,
that seems
Yeah, I
kind
saw
of
him on the. I seen him a bunch
ludicrous.
of times. And,
Right.
And I remember seeing him. I was thinking, well, I mean,
Probably
those
for
tickets
$15.
when they did the big three,
Yeah.
Right.
that was like probably like $20 then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's.
Tickets are kind of crazy now.
I mean,
Yeah.
I'm all about
This
supporting
Metallica
artists.
tour that is
Yeah.
insane. And they have they are doing a thing. I don't know if they're doing it in the US, but they did it in Europe called the Wherever I May Roam package where you get tickets to every show in the whole tour.
Whoa.
Oh Jesus.
I don't even know. It's like
Which is it just costs the
all
life
the
of a
money.
child.
Yeah, all the money.
Kids and kidneys.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. Kids and kidneys.
Kids and
kidneys.
Kids
Yeah.
and Kidneys package.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Wow.
I freak out when we have to charge $10 at the door, but
Oh, I know.
we're
Right.
obviously
Yeah.
not Metallica.
I feel bad if I make people pay
Pay it all.
Right. Yeah.
Like, are you sure you want me to take your money?
I promise you, it's not worth. No, it's
Yeah.
it's
course
worth
it's
it.
worth it.
It's
Yeah,
good.
$10. I mean,
It's
Yeah.
it's just weird. It's weird, like asking people for money to
Yeah.
do
know,
something you like
watch you.
doing.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Right.
But I think it's good. It's important. It helps
Yeah.
us play more.
Yeah.
and
I
stay
mean,
funded.
I'm not dissing the artists or
stuff.
anything like that.
Right.
But, I mean, I'm just like, okay, I want to know how much of this is going to the band and how much
Right.
is going to like.
like legal fees and shit or whatever. Like
yeah,
the venue.
exactly.
Yeah.
Fucking stupid ass Ticketmaster and all that
right.
shit.
God,
You know,
Well, I mean,
convenience charges.
those shows though are like they're trucks and trucks, and
Yeah.
hundreds of
Yeah,
crew
right.
members.
No,
and
I'm hip.
sometimes double sets. Like they're building this sex for the next show as this show's still going
Right.
on.
Well,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
So how about this? Okay, Slayer, if you're listening, I need a cost analysis breakdown.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
can you put that in Excel for me, please?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
Debits and credits.
So
Yeah.
I'm sure it was probably kind of ludicrous, but when Load came out, my family all went and saw Metallica too, and that was at the Bradley Center also.
Terrible album, by the way.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't mind. I was a little kid. I didn't
Yeah.
know any better.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, we were I don't know. I feel like my family is cool as shit, but
Yeah.
my dad recognized at some point that we were sitting in a section, or we had tickets to a section where like video recording was allowed. So yeah, like he just needed to get like a little star on his ticket or something like that. So like we have a videotape of the entire show.
Oh, that's neat.
Like, yeah.
More bootlegs.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which,
Awesome.
but yeah, it was pretty crazy. I don't know.
that's odd.
Yeah, it was really weird. But they had the whole like, I don't know what the fuck they call it, but it was that weird stage that they had like a couple different like drum
yeah.
kits set up, and like everybody was walking all around it. It was weird.
Oh, was it
This-
the in the round thing they were doing?
Yeah, it was almost like
This
an
wasn't a
infinity
tour
symbol
where
or something.
Hetfield got burned, was it? That was Black.
I
Album.
think
No,
that
yeah, that was
on
before.
Justice
Or was
for
that
All.
Justice?
Yeah, it was
Oh.
it was pretty early on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
man.
I've only seen Metallica once, and
Wow.
it was
wow,
Yeah.
I want to go this new tour, I think, but I don't know.
dude. Yeah, I seen
Yeah.
him a bunch.
It's gonna
Yeah.
be fucking expensive.
Back.
But
I've seen them as we used to go to those big festival shows where you see like, you know,
Yeah.
20 bands
Yeah.
throughout the course of
Wow.
Right.
whatever. So,
it's crazy,
Yeah.
crazy town.
so what was your first show?
So I have a toss-up. I can't remember which one was first
Okay.
because I'm an old man, but I know it was the same week.
okay.
I saw Air Supply
Oh,
sweet.
nice.
I'm all out of love.
Yeah. I'm so lost without you.
And the Dead Milkmen.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
What a
Fuck
an
yeah.
interesting
Yeah, the
juxtaposition
same
there.
week. And yeah, so Air Supply I went with my mom.
You should
and
change
some
your
friends.
story to the same day. The
same
They were
day.
the same. They were
The
the same
same
show.
show.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then, but like, yeah, my first all ages punk show was Dead Milkmen at the Power Station in Melbourne, Florida,
That
which
sounds
is where I also saw Yngwie.
Sounds awesome.
That was the Power Station. It was cool. Like we had not like it was everybody like me and like 3 or 4 of my friends. It was our first like show. We had no idea
Right.
like how any of this shit worked or like
Right.
So we got like the show was like at 9 or whatever, and we got there like at 5.
Right. Yeah, you get there
It's
super
like,
early.
Yeah, it was like I don't know.
Yeah.
We didn't. We just it's tonight, so we eat dinner and go.
Yeah.
And then we're like hanging out and playing pool, and none of us know how to play pool. And like some of the guys from Dead Milkmen were playing next to us, and we're like, "That's the guy!
Yeah.
That's the guy! That's the guy who sings the punk rock girl song! Yeah, that's the guy!" So
That's
but it was
fun.
fucking awesome. I forget who opened for them. It was someone crazy. It might have. I don't know if it was Jesus Lizard or.
Oh wow, Jesus
yeah,
Lizard.
maybe that was a helmet show. Maybe I don't know. It's all blending together.
Interesting.
But
Yeah.
it was a fucking great show, and they played awesome. And yeah, the Dead fucking Milkman.
Huh.
And then then
yeah.
it's like just shows and
Right.
shows and shows and shows. Hello,
Sorry.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Power Station. It was a
that's
shithole. It was in
great.
a strip mall,
Oh, yeah.
right next to an auto parts store.
That's awesome. Those are
I
always
think
the
they got
best.
busted
Yeah.
all the time for
Yeah.
having underage
Underage
drinking.
drinking. Yeah, perfect.
And prostitution and whatnot.
Yes.
But,
Right. Yeah.
Great.
That was a cool place. Where else? I saw Helmet there. Saw Rage Against the Machine there.
Oh,
saw
nice.
fucking Jesus Lizard, Yngwie Malmsteen,
Lizard, man.
Blue Meanies, all kinds of shit
Right.
back in the day. That was cool.
Nice.
Cool. But yeah, Air Supply.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It was it was the 2 Australian dudes, and I think it was like a piano and a guitar, so it was like stripped down. It was Air Supply stripped down.
Yeah.
And it was fucking cool. That was at the Maxwell C. King Center for Performing Arts. So
Nice.
that was like
Huh.
like a
Right.
a theater
That was
show.
like a real.
Yeah, it was like a theater
Performance.
Yeah, that's where
Right.
they do like plays and stuff.
Oh yeah.
and that
Fancy
kind of shit.
schmancy.
Yeah,
Hell
fancy
yeah.
schmancy.
You sit in your seats and clap like
Right.
this.
Yeah.
Very good. Very good.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah, but I don't know which one came first, so I got a. It's a
Well,
toss up.
Well,
No,
so
that's
a great
cool.
way. That's a great story. To
Yeah,
get me
I
a cherry
think.
pop,
I mean,
for sure.
I had started playing guitar at that point. Maybe. Yeah. Oh no, I know I had, but I wasn't any good. I'm still not any good. But yeah. But then when I saw the Dig Meltman, I'm like, wait, you don't have to be all that good. I mean, they're accomplished musicians, but they're not.
They're not Yngwie.
Yeah, they're not Yngwie.
not
And then
Right. Yeah. There's a.
They don't make you go. I'm just going to quit playing.
Yeah. Right.
But what was super cool, the tour I saw Yngwie was I think it was the Rising Force album, or was it Trilogy? I don't know. It had to be after Trilogy. But he had like the full band, and his bass player at one point came out with a cello. And Mike was playing fucking cello
Nice.
and shit, and I was like, I played cello
Nice.
in elementary school and
Hell
middle
yeah.
school, so I'm like, wow, you can rock with a cello.
Yeah.
That's badass.
Nice.
I still want a cello. I don't have one, but so anyone
should get one.
Anyone got a spare cello they want to get rid of? You let me know.
Yeah.
You ever played any other instruments besides guitar, there, Dougie? That's actually on the list, so I'm gonna have to cross it off. But I'm just curious now.
Yeah.
We can end this get to know
No.
you. I was just curious off the
No,
top
I-
of my head.
No, I've attempted piano, but
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
gave it up because I wasn't able to
Shred.
shred. So I was like,
Right.
this is stupid.
Yeah.
You would have gotten there. You got the fingers for it.
But see, that's the thing. I didn't want to practice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd rather play
I
guitar,
practice
something that I'm
guitar. Yeah.
moderately good at. You know,
Yeah. You had an aptitude for
Yeah.
it.
Eh,
Not at first. Well, no one has. an
I
aptitude
I had that
first.
also.
yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, all right.
Yeah.
Well, that ends get to know you.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to throw in one more Yngwie.
Yeah, go for it. It's Yngwie hour.
Yngwie with fucking Dio.
Oh.
Yeah, that was
Nice.
Damn.
some shit.
Holy
I forget what
fuck.
album Dio was touring for, but
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
fucking like
forever.
Yngwie and then Dio, and then I can't remember who the opening act was because whatever. But yeah,
Damn.
it was crazy. It was so awesome.
Yeah, that's a cream jean
Yeah.
show right there.
Yeah, Dio, man.
I was.
Oh, God rest his soul.
Yeah.
Geo.
Yeah, God rest your soul, Mr. Dio.
Or hell burn your soul. Whatever you like.
Yeah, just a little Italian guy came out and
Yeah. Fucking.
that voice,
yeah.
man, it's crazy.
Holy Dave!
Oh yeah, dude, they did it all. They did it all.
Yeah.
So
man.
awesome.
Wow. Yeah, never saw Dio.
I like me some Dio.
Yeah. Ronnie
That's legit.
James.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Great
some good
singer.
shit.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, all right. Yeah. So that ends get to know you there. I thought that went well.
Yeah.
yeah, I feel like I know you guys better.
Yeah.
Yeah, see? Not only does the audience get to know us, we get to
Yeah.
know each other a little
Right.
better.
I don't think we've ever talked about first
No.
shows. I mean, we've talked
No.
about music in general,
Yeah.
bands.
Yeah.
And,
I'll try
Talked
to come
about
up-
good
All right.
shows we've been to or whatever.
Unless
Yeah.
we're feeling particularly jerky, I'll try to work it in. Every episode, maybe get to
Yeah.
know you.
get to know you.
I think that would be fun.
Yeah. And now it's time for Awkwardness with Andris.
Oh, hey. Whew, yick. So I guess I could talk about stuff. What kind of stuff do you guys want to talk? I could talk about, like Dougie, when I was younger, I dabbled in the piano.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, me
Yeah,
too.
but the first instrument that I actually learned how to play, like in school or whatever, was the viola.
Oh.
So I started that route, and then
Cool.
the first instrument I ever had was a guitar before then. But I just like dicked around on it, like I didn't really know what I was
really
doing.
know what you're doing.
And then, but I learned how to play that better later.
With the guitar? Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Cool.
I got real into bass and then drums.
Yeah. You're quite good at the drums, so I'd stick there.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen you play guitar. You're pretty good at the guitar.
I do okay.
I do.
I feel like I'm not great at anything, but I feel like drums are probably the thing that I'm the best at.
Yeah. No, you're a good
But-
drummer. Good drummer.
We'll see.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's a thing that I could say.
Yeah. That was
And I
pretty
did.
awkward, and
And
that
I
was
said-
pretty awkward.
right?
So,
Pretty awkward.
Does that
as
fulfill
advertised.
Yeah.
Great.
Okay. Cool.
Order up.
Perfect.
So that'll do it for this episode of Idiots with Instruments. For more information on us and the podcast, go to idiotswithinstruments.com. That's idiotswithinstruments.com. And like we say in Red Hot Rebellion, the three things we always say is keep it simple,
stay hydrated,
and never play acoustic.
Goodbye, everyone.
Idiots with Instruments is a Solid Arts and Science production. All rights reserved throughout the multiverse. Please subscribe and review the show on iTunes or your podcatcher of choice. Visit idiotswithinstruments.com for exclusive bonus material and to support or sponsor this show.